Welcome to KCTS9 Connects, taking you beyond the headlines of Northwest news issues and politics. Coming up, test your Olympic knowledge. We have a quiz to see just how much you know about the Winter Games. But first, a different side of the immigration debate. A lot of people think it's pretty simple. People who come to the U.S. illegally should be deported. But what if you didn't have a choice about coming to America because you were brought here by your parents? Leslie McClurg reports on a local case that's spurring a national debate.
He's a go-getter.
He is just somebody that just breathes warmth.
And I know him to be incredibly reliable, resourceful, intelligent, hardworking.
My name is Alonso Chehade.
Until last spring, Alonso Chehade was living the American dream. He was an athlete, a successful student, and a volunteer in the community. He graduated from North Kitsap High School and then the University of Washington, both with honors.
I built a life here. I have friends. I'm going to university.
He hoped to open his own business and put his marketing degree to work. But on a foggy morning last March, that all changed. While driving home from Bellingham with a friend, they became confused and turned north onto I-5 instead of south. By the time they realized their mistake, it was too late to turn around, and Alonso found himself in front of an immigration officer at the Canadian border without a green card.
I ended up on a room there for the whole day with no food, only water, and then I was sent to detention.
Alonso was arrested on charges of being in the U.S. illegally, and that was the beginning of his fight for freedom.
You're thrown into detention like a criminal, and you have to be bailed out, and all the things that have happened to him. It opened my eyes to what we're doing in this country, to people who could be a resource for us.
Krista Jensen is an activist campaigning on behalf of youth like Alonso.
We have a broken immigration system that hasn't dealt yet with a loophole in it, which is the children that are brought to the country by their parents.
In 2001, when Alonso was 14, his family came to the U.S. to visit his aunt. They had a visitor's visa, but when it expired, they stayed. The Peruvian economy was in crisis, and his parents felt that they could make a better life in the U.S. Alonso says it was a difficult transition, but eventually the family opened a house cleaning business that has done well. His parents were hoping to one day become citizens.
Well, guess what? That didn't work because they've been paying taxes for 8 years now.
Alonso's arrest alerted the authorities of his family's illegal status. Now they may all be deported. And the deadline is looming. In the meantime, Alonso is fighting for his future here.
I ask for your support because supporting the Dream is supporting a great team.
He's become a poster child for the DREAM Act. It's a proposed federal bill to protect the children of illegal immigrants who were brought here under the age of 16 by allowing them to stay, if they meet specific requirements. You must be between the ages of 12 and 35, have lived in the U.S. for 5 consecutive years, graduated from high school, and demonstrate good moral character. Alonso has been speaking out in support of the DREAM Act, giving countless speeches and attracting media attention.
I feel like I have been awakened. So I think the positive of all this messed up stuff, all this craziness, is how this experience has changed my life and how this is gonna completely redirect where I'm gonna use my talent in the future.
Ironically, it's the American values that he's learned that fuel his passion.
I've been trained to fight for my rights. That's what I'm doing.
With the help of powerful lawmakers like Congressman Jim McDermott and U.S. Senators Patty Murray and Maria Cantwell, Alonso has been granted several extensions to his deportation.
A University of Washington graduate from Peru in the U.S. illegally hopes an 11th hour reprieve will let him stay here.
But now the clock is ticking loudly as he faces a February 16th deportation deadline. In these final days, he's hoping for a last-minute deferral to stay in the U.S. until the fate of the DREAM Act is decided by Congress.
I'm a visionary. I'm visualizing I'm not gonna get deported. And so far in my life, every time I visualize something, that's what happens.